Afternoon peeps. This is to plod or not to plod. I'm down in Horsham in Sussex. This is the actual court here. Hopefully I may show you the front as I go out. And then just behind me we have Horsham Fire Brigade. And then down the bottom here we have Horsham Police Station. So let's go down and we will see what's what. So I hope everyone's enjoying the warmer weather. It's definitely been an eventful few days. I know there's been a lot of people out and a lot of people out on the road this weekend. I'm trying to get a few done today before the football this evening, and yeah, let's see what happens. So this is Horsham Police Station. Wow, that's definitely a first. I've never seen a brown light above a police station. Never seen a brown one. That's very interesting. Don't know how old the building is, but we'll take a wander around and we shall find out and see what happens. Opening hours. Opening hours 10 till 2 and 3 till 6. Closed Saturday, Sunday and bank holiday. When office is closed, please use the yellow phone. Wow, that's a surprise. Yeah, another police station. So big respect to all those that gave their life in the Great War, in the First World War. So big respect to you all, which is massive. So let's just take a wander and we'll see what's what. So looking at that then, this police station's been a big part of a lot of things. So that looks like it might be the cells over there. So that looks like the cells. And then you've got a bit of a mental gate, it looks like. Don't know if it's a gate or it's sealed or whatever. It's a sealed gate. So you can see there's a 4x4 there. So I'll take a wander around the front and try and go over the other side. This is as far as you can go on this side. So yeah, so West Sussex. I came down to West Sussex purely because quite a lot of people contacted me and said about come down to Sussex, and I believe, don't quote me on this one, I believe it was Sussex Police Federation that have said outright that there is a divide between the public and the police. So let's see if I get any engagement, and if I do, I'll ask them outright whether or not they believe there's a divide, and we go from there. You can see they've got all the electric car points all plumbed in. As I said, I've never seen a brown light above a police station before, so yeah. It's not a particularly big station, but then I think for a country station, it's a nice size. It's a fair old size. Take a wander around and see what's what. And that's all we can really do. As I said, it looks like you've got the ambulance crew there. So you've got the ambulance crew right next door. Then you've got the fire brigade, and you have at the top of the road the magistrates court. So you can see these are the signs here. So yeah. So far, all I'm seeing are vans, nothing much. And I believe behind that one there, that's where that 4x4 was when I was around the other side. On the road. So you can see from here. This is where it's got. You can see, guys, there's a lot of cars over that side, And then as we pan round, you have the vans. And you got more vans there. So, yeah. There's their petrol pump. So that's the pump that they use to do everything, and then they sit there burning the fuel when they do nothing. So, but it's good to see that there's no engines running at the moment. So they do like their 4x4s and their vans. So yeah, as I said, I'll see if there's any engagement. I'll sort of hang around for another 5 minutes or so, and if nothing happens, I'll move on to the next location. But it's just quite intriguing that when you got this local people that say, yes, there is a big divide between the public and the people, but yet you ask an officer and it's no, there's no divide. And when I look at the way that things are, it would have been nice through everything that I've discovered and seen and found out so far that I would have found more good officers than bad, but it's turning out by far worse than what I originally thought. And they do wonder why there is a big divide. The divide is there purely because they don't respect people's rights and they don't follow the law, and that's a big problem. So what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm not going to wrap it up completely there, but I will see. I don't know whether or not I should hold it, stop the video and then restart, or whether or not I should just keep filming. Normally I just keep filming, so I may just do that. What's interesting is when you look right the way out here, they have no gates whatsoever, but because they have that, I will just hold off here. Yeah. I would have thought there would have been a bit more movement today. A lot of people already celebrating to do with the football. But like that they might be on a nap, waiting to go out later. Yeah, it looks relatively quiet, relatively chilled out. Let's see what's over there. So, I don't know if this is attached to the police station or whether or not it's the ambulance crew, but either way it's for one of them. But the amount of parking for such a small station, you had all that parking around the front, and then you can see all of this in there, and up over the back there looks like they've got garages. Whether or not that's where they put cars that are involved in stuff or not, I don't know. But yeah, so far so good. Been here a quarter of an hour so far and nothing at all. Looks like that they don't want to come out and talk. And nobody at the windows having a look. So yeah, so that's definitely an interesting one. So what you got? I believe that that's an officer that has just seen that there's a camera and then decided to pull the other way. So same as that one, I believe. So you can see from there that they're sort of just a little bit camera shy. They are very, very much so camera shy. They just quickly slam the cars in and that's what they did. So you can see from that there that they're here for their food. So this is what they do. So, but yeah. So when you look, I think all what I found at police stations so far is the amount of food that they go for and they get. You can see from that that's what it is. So, and you can see there you have two officers there. They most probably came out to see what I was doing, and that's what happened. But you can see they just came out to have a look and see for their food. So, but that's all what they came out for. Afternoon, how you doing? So, not too bad. Yeah, so you can see what they did was they just came out specifically for their food, and from what I can make out and what the guy said, I think they've got Nando's. Yep. So that's what they've got. So they've decided to order a Nando's, and that's what they've gone for. But let's just see where they go in. They didn't really want to chat, they were more interested in their lunch above anything. So I believe that that's the way that they went in. So yeah, as you can see there, that's where they went in. So that's where they. So you got 3 officers there. There, and that's what you got. So 3 officers. Yeah, WPC just see the camera, spun round and just ran the other way. So more interested in their food more than anything. But what has been good is it's good for photography that I've just been left alone. A couple of officers came out, yep, they came out to get their lunch, but they just left me alone. So that's inside on the actual pillar, and let's just see. So you have regional organised crime unit, community investigation team, divisional intelligence unit and divisional coaching unit, and then you got ASBO and everything else. Let me just move out the way because you've got this officer here. So
hello mate, you alright?
Yep, don't touch me.
No,
do not touch me,
sir. Go back round the,
yeah, do you mind not pushing me? I will fall over, sir.
I'm not pushing you.
Yeah, you are, sir. Would you mind standing back, sir? No, would you mind standing back, sir?
So go back to the private area, yep.
Okay, would you mind standing back, sir?
Area. Come on this way.
Well, first of all, you're not a police officer, so don't tell me what to do, sir. Can you actually identify yourself first, sir?
No, you identify yourself.
I don't need to.
Neither do I.
Okay.
Back round here.
No chance, sir.
Can you come back round?
No chance, sir.
That's right.
Okay. So, guys, as you can see, this PCSO here just came out and just tried to completely push me out the way. Right.
You put your arms on me as I walk.
No, you walk straight up to me, sir. Do not even try that one. It's all on camera, so don't worry about that, sir. So, and don't worry, I'll be requesting a copy of that.
I'll request a copy of yours too.
You've got no chance, sir. You're held by GDPR. I'm not. So let's verify that,
well,
sir.
Well, you're on private property.
Are you the landowner? Are you the landowner, sir?
No, but I represent who does.
Okay.
So I'm asking you nicely.
No, you're a PCSO, so do not even attempt to actually speak to me.
If I
and I can decline, sir.
Okay. So if I walked into that garden without permission, would that be okay?
I can decline, sir. Right?
So in private,
so you got a PCSO here, refusing to identify himself. Okay.
I walk into your
21907.
Well done. That's it.
Okay.
That's what you're entitled to, and you've got it now.
Don't worry. Yeah, but you failed to do it, so you will be retrained on that, sir.
Well, thank you very much.
Right.
I appreciate customer feedback.
You were, well, you've got no absolute respect for members of the public.
No,
you have none at all, sir. You have none at all. I don't have to listen to a word you say, sir. You fail to identify yourself to me, so I do not speak to you.
If I walk into your garden, would I be able to ask you to leave?
Yes, and it's a civil matter, sir.
That's right. So can you please leave?
It's a civil matter. The answer is no, sir.
You're welcome to record.
The answer is no, sir.
Go to the public area.
The answer is no, sir.
This is private.
The answer is no, sir.
The answer is no to what?
Okay, to me moving.
Oh, sorry, it is private.
It's publicly accessible.
No, it's
publicly accessible.
There's a barrier there.
No, not on the pavement, sir. And there's no sign saying do not actually come through here.
You're in a private car park, not a footpath.
That's because you forced me this way, sir.
I didn't force you.
Yes, you did.
You were stood here.
I stepped down off the steps and you walked right. The camera don't lie, sir. Sir, I have nothing more to say to you.
Yeah, I came out the toilet and you're
You are a complete bully boy, nothing more. You are a complete bully boy. Number one, you fail to identify yourself.
I don't have to explain myself to you.
Yes, you do, sir. Yes, you do, sir. Look, do me a favour. You don't even have the powers of a traffic warden, so do me a favour and in polite words, please go, leave me alone to do what I'm lawfully allowed to do.
You're not allowed in this private area. That's not lawful.
Yes, I am, sir.
If I walked into your garden without legal purpose, would that be reasonable?
Okay.
Would that be reasonable?
It becomes a civil matter.
Could I walk into your garden?
You can walk into my garden.
And would you be happy with that?
Okay.
And I filmed you through your windows?
It makes no difference.
What about if I filmed you through your windows? Would that be okay?
It's a civil matter, sir.
It's not.
It is a civil matter.
It becomes a privacy issue.
When it's
like
public, when it's private
it?
property, it is a civil matter of
but
trespass.
Filming through someone's private windows
is a civil matter.
Illegal.
I can film whatever my eye can see from the public. End of story.
But this is not a public area.
So do me a favour. Do me a favour.
I appreciate you've got hobbies.
Do me a favour. Do me a favour. Just go away. Right. Look. If you want to do something about this, then go and get me a real police officer.
I don't think that there's any free to come and deal with
Right,
you.
well then, in other words, I'm going to carry on with my business.
I know you're trying to provoke a reaction because
I'm not. You came out. There was two nice officers that walked in there that said hello to me just round the corner and let me carry on doing what I'm doing.
Sir,
look, I can film whatever I can see. So do me a favour. I'm going to carry on with my business. I'm going to carry on with my business. So it's that simple. Okay. So you've got a PCSO there that thinks he can throw his weight around. He was most probably bullied at school, and that's why he decided to put on that fake police officer's uniform, and that's what he's decided to do. As you've seen from the camera, he decided to come right the way out and completely push up right in my face. So it looks like there is where you've got the cells, and that's what you've got. So, and that's what it is. So, but this guy here, what a complete bully boy, nothing more. He must have been really bullied at school. He must have. So, and that's the thing.
I'll try to explain to the gentleman.
Good afternoon, sir. How are you?
Yeah, I'm very well. How are you?
Good, not too bad. Would you mind identifying?
Yeah, my name is BC Wells. My warrant number is Echo Alpha 022.
Thank you very much,
sir.
As you can
see on my shoulder.
Thank you very much for identifying yourself.
Can I ask what you're doing here today, please?
Yes, I'm doing a lawful activity, and I'm down here to try and engage with some officers, like yourself, where you came out and you've been nice and polite, not like this PCSO here came out and was completely in my face and pushing me away. Right. So I will say thank you very much for that, sir. And what I
tell you what, give us 2 seconds, bud. I'll have a chat with him, and then do you want to go with Caro? Have a chat with Caro, and then we'll get two sides of the same story, and we'll go from there.
Okay. So yes, so I'm just down here because recently you've actually got the Police Federation for Sussex that did actually release a statement saying that they believe themselves that there is a complete divide between the public and the police.
Right.
So I'm just down here. As you know, there aren't many police on the street at the moment. A lot of them go around in vehicles. The main place you can see the police is at a police station. Now, as I've come round, there's no signs around there saying no public beyond that point. That's why I'm allowed to actually access this under Section 33 of the Criminal Justice Act of 1972. So I'm allowed access round here because there is no sign round the front. He came round when I was standing over there, and I've got it all on camera, and he just completely pushed up and pushed me into the corner. You can see I walked with a stick and he tried to push me over. Right. I will be filing assault charges for that because he should not have done that. Also, he failed to identify who he was. Right, not like yourself. When you came out, I asked you to identify yourself. You've done that. It was perfectly fine. Okay. Now, what I will actually show you, just so we can actually clarify this. Okay. So, not like what this one does, I understand. As you can see, that is from the NSPCC.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Now, you must know who the NSPCC are.
The NPCC.
NPCC. Yep.
I do. Yeah.
Yep. So
you just give me 2 seconds.
No worries. No worries. Carry on. Good afternoon, my darling. Sorry, I won't call you my darling because I know some people don't like that. Would you mind just identifying yourself for me, if you don't mind?
PC Gawley.
Okay, and your collar number, please.
Echo Alpha 334.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
So you can see clearly from that, okay, what's come out. I'm completely well within my rights to do so, and it says that we are allowed to do so. So, and once I've done my story, then I will make my way and I'll be off. Now, there were 2 officers that came out to get their lunch. They said good afternoon and everything else, and they were really pleasant. And that's how it should be. And they wonder why there's a divide. Now, the way that you've come out, if you were on the street, that would be a fantastic interaction with any member of the public. And that's what the public want to see.
Of course.
It's when you get somebody like this gentleman here, and the way that he went, that is what gives good officers a bad name. And that's what we have to come away from. And that's why I just come down to see what officers' views were on whether or not they believe there is a divide.
It's something that I'm not going to comment on,
Okay.
and for the simple reason of
And that's your right
we have
not to
our
comment.
media departments that speak on
Yep.
behalf of the police. I'm very conscious that we are all stood here in a uniform, and that my personal comments on the matter could then be construed as being the views of Sussex Police, and that's not the case.
That's fair
See, my
enough.
views are my own, but when I wear this uniform, I represent Sussex Police,
Yep.
as do my colleagues here. Okay?
That's fair enough.
So, with respect to you, sir, I'm going to refrain
That's
from
fine.
commenting.
That's not a problem,
And
sir.
if you wanted a comment from the police service in relation to the divide between
Yeah,
us and
I've
the public,
contacted the press office a
Right.
number of times, but they only ever seem to get back to me when there's something good to actually be
Right,
said.
okay.
And that is a sad thing, because this is what creates the divide. When something goes wrong, right, it's good officers that do need to stand up and say, look, this is what's happening, and they do need to go forward. And as I said, you've been really polite, you've been really professional, and it's been really, really good. As I said, if you don't want to answer the question, you don't need to answer the question, and that's perfectly fine. That's well within your rights to do so. But what is not acceptable is what this actual PCSO did. That's not acceptable in
again,
any way.
I can't comment on that because obviously I didn't witness that again. And like you said, you're well within your rights to make any sort of complaint that you wish to do so. And if you need to know how the process works in relation to making an internal complaint about a member of Sussex Police staff, we can go through that. That's not a problem.
That's fine.
In the interest of, like you said, I've been polite with you and been absolutely fine with you, and I appreciate what you've said about the signage. And that is obviously something that we will have to address if that is the case. But can I ask for there to be some sort of compromise between the two of us? I'm happy to continue having a conversation with you, for the time being. But this is a private car park, whether it's signed or not. Like I said, you've quoted the Act of Parliament to me. However, I'm going to ask for some sort of compromise between the two of us, considering that I've been absolutely perfectly polite with you, and therefore I see no reason for you to sort of not want to engage with me and to come to some sort of agreement. Okay. I cannot stop you doing what you're doing in terms of your filming and things like that. The only thing I'm going to ask politely is that you don't do it in our private car park, because we should be challenging people to see whether they have police ID when they are in this particular area.
And that's perfectly fine, sir.
So
that is perfectly
all
fine.
I'm going to ask is that if you want to continue filming the police station here today and doing whatever it is for your YouTube channel or whatever social media platform you're doing this for, that's fine. But could I ask you to do it the other side of the barrier where you've entered from today, please?
I will do. As soon as I finished here, okay, then I will actually move round.
And what is it that you are hoping to gain from being in this car park?
Well, no, I'm walking around and I'm looking at the whole building. Okay, the cars that are in here, they don't bother me at all. Okay, they're over there. I'm focused on the building.
Fine.
Okay, is what I'm focused on.
And what part of the building have you got up to this point?
I got to here, okay, when this gentleman came out.
The building itself, because again, I'm sure you know your boundaries better than I do, I'm sure. But that's the only thing I'm going to ask. Okay?
Yep.
Is that you.
And that was the concern I had coming out here. Was I came out the loo, and then the camera was up against the glass through that door filming in, which was obviously concerning to me.
Of course, of course.
I came out to direct impact round to the front of the building,
Of
to
course.
the public area, but you didn't agree with that.
That's not the way you came out, sir.
Well, we can play the video back if you
That's
want.
not the way you
Let's
came
play
out,
the video
sir.
back to my colleagues, and
Okay.
obviously they can give
Don't
me
worry,
feedback.
you will get that when you actually get the complaint through.
But
and as I
obviously-
said, failing to identify yourself, okay, that's something that you will
Well,
be trained.
as I said to you,
need to
is
take
we
it from
need-
these officers
we need to,
and
you need
actually
to cooperate
see
with us
what
as well,
you
don't
said.
you? That's what I was trying to
Well,
understand.
not the way that you came
the
out.
point
Number
of-
one, you have no power as a community support
No, but I have
officer.
the
That's what
authority to ask you to leave the private area that
you
we
have
represent.
no authority.
We do it on this private area.
You
we
have
do.
no authority,
There we go.
sir.
See, this is what I mean. You're difficult.
No, I'm not
And
being
I'm
difficult.
sure if
You
someone-
actually have no authority.
Just
You're
bear
not
in
the
mind,
landowner.
If a member
It
of
is
public
public
came to your
property.
house, recorded you through your
It
window,
is public property.
you would call the police and say, "Oh, there's some
No, I
strange going on
won't.
here.
I
Someone's
won't because
recording me from my window."
they never turn up, sir. They
Well, I
never
would,
turn
huh?
up, sir.
So, thank you for letting us have a really
No
good
worries,
guidance
that's
there.
fine,
The
you're
only
more
thing
than
that,
welcome.
the only thing that we've got concerns for, which I'm going to ask you to just clarify, is just in relation to point 1.4 here. Okay, and just to be mindful of these bullet points here and how you're.
And that's perfectly fine.
And I'm not going to be defending my colleague because I can't comment because I didn't witness it. However, you've kind of got to understand from our point of view that surrounding 1.4 here, and hostile reconnaissance and looking at layout of the venue, things like that, that obviously then raises concerns and suspicions with us. But you've got the paperwork there.
Yep.
I just thought I'd like to point that out
and
to you.
that's perfectly fine.
Okay.
And as I said, but then if you read the rest of it, that's what the way of actually doing it. But then if you actually then read through, it then tells you the way that an officer then should be acting towards somebody that's doing it.
I completely appreciate
and this
that.
is the thing. When you look at something like that, that's why. Oh, thank you very much. Sorry.
That's good, and I completely appreciate that. And again,
And that is another reason why I keep this on me, is because it makes things much easier for everybody.
right.
And I know that people always say that, did you see the memo of 2020, okay, that went out? The first thing that everyone says is no.
So it makes sense
that's
for you to
why
have
it's
a copy
easy
of it.
to carry a
Of course.
copy. So it means then that people then can actually read it. As I said, you can take as
course.
long as you need for it. And all I wanted to do, as I told you, was come, engage, exactly as I'm doing with yourself, sir. And you can see I'm really chilled, really relaxed. But then when you look at the way that that gentleman was, I'm
And
sorry,
again, I
that was a
can't comment on
disgrace.
that because I didn't witness it. I'm
Yep.
sure he's got his body-worn video rolling, and you've obviously got
Yep.
your camera footage. That will ultimately determine the interaction between
Yep.
yourselves. However, again, because I wasn't there, in the interest of what he has said and treating everyone here fairly, if he had then concerns that you were maybe up at the window, I don't know because I didn't see that myself.
Yeah.
Okay,
Right,
but
sorry,
that's why I
sorry,
highlight
can I
that
just
point.
say one thing? Excuse me, could you just make sure that that footage is actually saved, and you should have told me under 3.5 that you turned your camera on, sir. Also as well, did you two turn your cameras on, if you don't mind me asking?
So we have these overt pieces of equipment here with the label that makes it clear that the cameras
Yep.
are on. And we've got a little red light. I know it's not the easiest in daylight, but it shows that it is
Yep.
on at the moment.
But just so you know, under your policy, you do need to tell a member of the public when you do turn it on.
Okay.
It is part of your policy. And so, as I said, for that gentleman, I know that I will be requesting his copy.
Well, all of our
because that
footage
was
gets
so wrong.
automatically retained for 30 days.
That's fine.
And then if there is a requirement for it to be saved longer than that 30 days, we
Yep.
have the facility of
Yep,
doing that. So,
that's fine.
so rest assured, I'm not sure if his camera was on. I'm going to presume that
At,
it was.
at first it wasn't,
Right.
but as I said, it was so wrong the way that he came out. It really, really was.
And are you aware of how to make a complaint to Sussex Police if you so wish?
I know each police force is different. I know that they do operate slightly different. So if you wouldn't mind telling me, that would
So
be amazing.
ultimately, the best course of action would be to call 101.
Yep.
Go through to our Sussex Police contact centre and log the complaint with them. They will give you a unique reference number to log your call, and that should then be passed on to our professional standards department, who they have a duty to contact you within a certain time. I couldn't tell you what that time period is.
Yep.
I'd like to say it's 24 hours, but I don't know that for
Okay.
fact.
Yep.
They will then contact you, discuss the complaint with you, and then they will liaise with the relevant officers, the relevant PCSOs, look at all of the footage that is available to try and then come to some sort of resolution with you as to how you would like your complaint dealt with.
Yep.
Okay.
No worries, that's
Perfect.
perfect. Can I say thank you very much for your time? I appreciate both of your times.
You're welcome.
And most of all, do have a lovely afternoon.
Thank you very
And
much.
be safe while you're out there.
That's fine. Thank you very much.
No worries.
Can I just clarify? Do you need to do anything more in the car park?
Yeah,
or-
I just wanted to get that bit just along there,
That's-
and then that's
fine.
me then done
And again, in
done
the
round
interest
here.
of us building a good rapport with each other, if I could just ask you to say a certain distance away from the windows of the building and things like
Yep,
that, because
no,
we do have
That's
officers
perfect.
working in
That's
those
perfectly
offices and
fine.
stuff. Perfect.
Not a problem.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you very much for your
That's
time.
not a
I
problem.
really appreciate
We are
it.
still going to linger
Yeah.
here because again, this is a private car park.
That's fine. That's
And,
perfectly fine. As I said, I'll only be a few minutes. I'm just going to go over there and then I'll then be going back round the front.
Not a problem, sir.
No worries. Thank you very much.
You take care, all right?
So, guys, you can see from that when police officers actually came out, it weren't a bad interaction and the way that things were, but the way that that PCSO came out and he physically tried to push me over and tried to intimidate me completely, which was just disgraceful. It was disgusting. So that looks like the actual cells there. So, and then you come over here, and then that's that gate that doesn't move in the corner. So, yeah. So, but that was so disgusting on the way that he went. Right, so guys, I'm going to make my way back around the front, and then we will then call it there. So, yeah, that's what we'll do. So, let me just do this up. Yeah, so there we go. So yeah.
I didn't catch your name. Just to save you a little bit of trouble, a reference has been put in already for our interaction today.
Okay.
If you'd like to take that and then use that to quote
Yep.
your complaint.
Do you have the number?
Yes, it's 814
Yep.
of today's date.
No worries,
All right.
perfect. Thank you very much.
You're
I
welcome,
appreciate that. All right, take care and be
And you.
safe.
Have a wonderful evening.
And
Stay
you.
safe.
Are you going to get a chance to watch the footy later?
Unfortunately not. We've got other commitments, I'm afraid.
Nah. Well, I think if it does, I think I think we all know the country's going to go mad. We all know that.
Time will tell. I'm hoping not. I'm hoping everyone behaves themselves and stays safe.
Well, I think everybody will. I think everybody will, and I
hope
don't
so.
think there will be a problem. And I think even if it went the opposite way, I don't think that there will be an issue either. I think everybody will be sad, but I think everybody will be perfectly fine.
Absolutely.
Right, well, take care and have a lovely afternoon.
And you, so you take care.
Take care. All right, bye. So guys, you can see, so they were quite pleasant. It was really chilled out. So yeah, so this is Horsham Police Station, and yeah, I definitely weren't expecting that. So it looks like that the officers down here weren't too bad at engaging. They came out, listened, went through stuff, didn't violate my rights whatsoever. But then you got the PCSO that physically tried to push me over, and that is so disgraceful that he goes to push me over. So yeah, so guys, so this, as I said, this is Horsham Police Station. So what I will say, peeps, is do have a lovely evening, take it easy, and I will see you on the next one. Alright, be good and be safe. Alright, take care, peeps. Oh yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe to Plod or Not to Plod.